fought Mark. The fact of the matter is, if Mark Breland can hit you, he can beat you. And Aaron Davis, despite his very good records, there's Mark getting ready to come into the ring. You see that record, the 27 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw, and the 20 knockouts. He is on a 7 knockout string since his draw with Marlon Starling. The point I'm trying to make is, if Mark can hit you, he can knock you out. And Aaron Davis, who's in the ring, has not shown the defensive skills to be able to avoid the punches of Mark Breland. I think if Aaron comes out with respect for Mark's power and fights a conservative fight, we could see some rounds. But if Aaron comes out, gets caught up in that neighborhood rivalry, and he goes out to fight Mark Breland, we could have a very, very short fight indeed.
Let's go ahead and take a look at the tail of the tape. And of course, you see the biggest advantage of all enjoyed by Mark Breland, a full 5 inches taller than Aaron Davis. Breland 4 years the senior. The WBA rules are in effect. Scoring will be on our 10-point must system. As it was in the last fight, the 3 knockdown rule is in effect. The standing 8 is not. A fighter cannot be saved by the bell except in the final round, and only the referee can stop the bout. The referee is a veteran. There's Mills Lane, who's refereed many a championship bout, and the 3 scoring judges are Patricia Jarman, Larry Rosadilla, and Doug Tucker.
You know, Mills Lane is running for judge here. He's the district attorney here in Reno, and he's running.
There is Mark Breland, born in Brooklyn. He now lives in Manhattan, and of course that's half of the New York rivalry you see here today, because Aaron Davis was born in the Bronx, New York, and he still resides where he grew up in that same area. And there is, Alex, I don't live in New York. This is a good fight no matter where you live. But I guess if you're from New York, there is that Bronx-Brooklyn rivalry that goes way back, I guess, to baseball days.
Yeah, I really don't think that is hype. I mean, we sometimes spend time building these things up. I think these 2 kids are serious about their dislike for each other.
1 draw and 20 wins.
There is Mark Breland, the Olympic gold medalist, one of the great amateur careers in the history of amateur boxing.
Welterweight champion of the world.
We are in Reno, Nevada, at Harrah's Casino, and Mark Breland. Alex, interesting that these 2 New York fighters came all the way to Nevada to make this fight.
Yeah, it seems like a natural for New York, but there was no, the Madison Square Garden and the Felt Forum being renovated. All the casinos were booked, so we find ourselves out in the West Coast.
The final instructions were given to the fighters by Mills Lane. Joe Ferriello, the trainer of Mark Breland, tells his man some final little tidbits, and we are ready to go. Live for the WBA Welterweight Championship, Mark Breland and Aaron Davis. And you can't miss Davis with the red and blue sequin trunks. Must have raided Hector Camacho's closet to find those trunks.
Another fighter trained by Aaron's trainer, Billy Giles.
Mark Breland with one of the most unusual bodies in boxing. You saw the left that scored, and there came Davis with a left hook that landed.
That's right, and the huge physical advantages that Mark has, you know, dictate the fact that the most important thing for his opponent is to find a way to get inside.
Aaron Davis has openly and with great delight questioned the heart of Mark Breland. He says this man has no heart, and I will expose that in Reno. That's talk really comes easy on Tuesday or Wednesdays, but on a Sunday afternoon, a little tougher to back up.
Mark not doing much yet.
Neither fighter has worked up much in the way of a sweat. Both fighters looking extremely cool in the early going here in round 1.
See Mark feigning a few minutes ago to see Aaron reacted right away.
Oh! The left jab by Davis. You saw it stagger Mark Breland. Oh, and an uppercut lands. And Davis continues to clutch and hit.
And Mills Lane trying hard to break the 2. Mark Breland is still hurt. And he got a few extra seconds from Mills there.
Boy, it was a stiff left hand by Aaron Davis.
But it was just a jab. A hard jab, but just a jab.
And you saw it just buckle the knees of Mark Breland, who still looks shaky.
Absolutely.
Mark Breland doing not much of anything here. A minute left in the first round and already Breland in trouble. There's Billy Giles, the manager and trainer of Aaron Davis. Boy, and you'd have to think that he couldn't have choreographed a better start than this for his man.
And Mark Breland, his legs just aren't there. He just doesn't have his legs under him.
Aaron Davis swinging wildly. You can tell that he's on the scent, that he's going for the one punch that'll end it.
And again, Mark tying up, waiting for the referee to break it.
Oh, a good uppercut that time by Mark Breland. And Mark Breland just thrown into the ring by Aaron Davis. That will not be a knockdown.
Shades of the Starling fight, the first Starling fight. Big rock.
Oh, another big left hand by Aaron Davis. And not a very auspicious beginning for Mark Breland. Bill Slane had to do a yeoman's job of keeping these two fighters away from each other. They were both in the middle of the ring with 10 seconds left. During their break, he had to separate them 3 times. Boy, another good jab by Aaron Davis scores. And again, Mark Breland takes a left right on the chin, and you saw it buckle his leg. And again, Alex, shades of Marlon Starling. He's hanging on.
But he just has not recovered from that first jab.
Well, the legs went again here, and we are only in the beginning of the second round. Mark Breland with a dazed look on his face. Oh, and there's the best flurry of the fight by Mark Breland.
Aaron Davis looks a little bit tired right now.
And Joe Ferriello looks concerned beyond belief. As well he should be.
Dan, I want to be honest about one thing quickly. When I said if Aaron Davis comes out to fight, we could have a very short fight indeed, I never thought it would be Aaron Davis being the winner.
I knew what you meant. You're an honest man, though, Alex. I might take credit for it if it would end.
Aaron Davis is tired right now.
Oh, there was a wild right that missed by Breland, but he followed it up with the left and scored.
If Mark Breland can get his legs back under him and stick some hard punches, especially to the body of Aaron Davis, he could inflict some of that damage that he's already taken from Aaron.
If you're a Breland follower and rooter, though, Alex, it wasn't much of a left here in the second round that buckled his knees again. Didn't take much of a shot to the chin to wobble him again.
No, and Mark has to be aware of that left hook. Can't get careless, but Aaron Davis is really tired. I mean, his legs are gone.
Mark Breland came in that time, but Davis effectively blocked the punches. Ooh, another good stiff jab by Davis. It looks like the left eye of Mark Breland is starting to swell. Boy, there's a wild right by Davis that lands. We'll have to watch the left eye of Mark Breland. And that left jab of Breland's, Alex, is nothing but a pawing jab at best.
Yeah, Mark's legs do seem to be back a little bit. His head seems a little bit clearer, Dan. The problem is that it just doesn't take that much to get him in trouble, as we've already seen on 2 occasions.
Oh, and Mark Breland is bleeding from the mouth. That jab of Davis exposed some blood. Mark Breland bleeding a bit from the mouth. A lot has happened, and this just the end of the second round. Wow. Let's get it on in round number 3. That's what both fighters said, is again, they were out early. Joe Ferriello told Mark Breland in between rounds, much better, Mark, much better. That's the way to get it back under control. Again, though, the best punch of the second round was another jab to the chin of Breland that buckled his legs again. A reminder for those of you that might have just joined us, it was a big first round by the challenger, Aaron Davis, in the red and blue sequin trunks as he pummeled Mark Breland in the first round.
Mark trying to line up the right hand. You do well to listen to Joey Ferriello in his corner. Use a stiff jab to set it up.
Mark Breland some puffing around the left eye and also bleeding, not profusely, but noticeably from the mouth. Well, there's the jab of Breland, and Aaron Davis not as busy as he was in the early going.
No, he's just tired. He does not look like he's in condition to keep up the pace that he set the first 2 rounds. Or through the first minute of the second round.
We also have to let everyone know, Alex, how poorly Aaron Davis looked in his last bout against Curtis Summit.
Yeah, we saw that fight, and he really did look terrible. He said he was looking ahead, but there's Larry Tumbler Davis, a fighter some people from the New York area might remember as being a solid 10-round club fighter. And people in New York always said that Aaron needs a little bit of his father's heart, determination, and dedication. They felt that Aaron had more skill and more natural talent, but didn't apply himself. There, good right hand by Aaron. Just a little bit out of range.
Well, speaking of heart, Alex, here's an excellent opportunity to find out about Mark Breland and his heart. Question before the fight by Aaron Davis, and a real check now for Mark Breland.
I think, Mark's heart is
good combination by Breland.
I think his heart is fine. I think the question, win or lose out of this fight about Mark, is going to be his chin. I mean, he was just hurt by very, very not ordinary punches, but punches that in no way should got him in the trouble that he was in.
Oh, another good left hook.
And he's hurt again.
By Aaron Davis and Mark Breland hanging on.
Third time in 3 rounds.
We're coming to the end of the third round, and down goes Breland.
3, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Mark Breland got up. There's the end of the third round. We're staying here. Mark Breland dropped by Aaron Davis.
You're all right. Come here. Listen to me, Mark. He's cutting everything, man. You all right? All right. Mark, listen to me. Listen to me now, all right? He's got a bad left eye. It's swollen shut. Now stop pulling out. Stay with the jab. Stay right there with him. All right?
Hands up high. Here's the knockdown of Mark Breland. Really was just a cuff, and then the left after it. First punch was just a cuff, but the left he put behind it by Aaron Davis had Mark Breland hanging on.
And then Davis followed that up with a left hook.
Stop the pulling out.
And that drops
stiff
Mark
jab
Breland.
and right hand on the way in. Now he might come after you fast this round. Be ready for it.
There's the cuff, and there's the left that put him down. Or, I'm sorry, had him hurt and hanging on.
Well, the bell sounded to end the third round before Mark Breland had to get back and engage Aaron Davis. Here we go in the fourth. Schlitz Malt Liquor, professional boxing, and very much up for grabs here is Mark Breland's WBA welterweight crown.
And right then, Aaron Davis is up for grabs. Mark was grabbing him, trying to take some time off the clock, trying to get his senses back.
Like the way I tied all that together. Again, the jabs from Aaron Davis.
We should point out that Aaron Davis's right eye is in big trouble also from those jabs by Mark Breland.
You heard Joe Ferriello tell Mark Breland, quit pulling out, quit pulling out. That's when you're getting caught. Mills Lane decides to take a look and sends Aaron Davis over to the ring doctor. We're looking at a cut along the right eye of Aaron Davis. Underneath the eye, look at the swelling.
Doctor asked Aaron if he could see. Aaron said, yeah. I think I might be tempted to lie about it, even if I couldn't, Dan, if I had a chance to win a world championship.
No, but if my eye was starting to swell like that, I'd shift gears. I wouldn't plan on winning a 12-round decision. Now, wait a minute, Mark Breland's touch.
Mark Breland's face is a mess right now. His nose is busted up. He's bleeding from the mouth. This is by far the worst beating that Mark has ever taken, including the 2 fights with Starling.
And Aaron Davis isn't looking so hot himself.
No, he's in danger because his right eye is almost gone.
But you can see the gloves of Breland are coming down. The hooks of Aaron Davis are getting over the top and scoring.
Daniel, a lot was made of the fact that this could be just a neighborhood street fight. I honestly never expected. I thought it would just be the precision punching and power of Mark Breland that would dominate. It had turned into a street fight.
You can see Mark Breland pawing at his nose. The left hand of Aaron Davis has been inflicting damage to Mark Breland. Again, Breland goes to his nose.
Yeah, Mark is gasping for air. I mean, he may not be able to breathe through that nose. He's got trouble breathing through his mouth because he's swallowing blood undoubtedly from the cut in his mouth. Just desperation for Mark. I mean,
and there goes Aaron Davis back into the ropes, although, boy, I didn't see a punch from Breland that could have caused that.
Desperation for both men. One guy's got his eye closing, the other guy's all beat up, and neither of them look like they have enough left to go the distance.
30 seconds left here in the fourth round. Oh, there's a little showboating by Aaron Davis, and Mark Breland hanging onto the ropes.
Trying to showboat, but that was really dumb by Mark. I mean, he was just totally naked for a punch.
Mark Breland was hanging on the ropes with his right hand. The jab of Breland has nothing on it. Aaron Davis has to be feeling pretty good about where he is right now.
Time left on the clock.
Now referee Mills Lane took a timeout because he wanted the doctor to look at that right eye of Aaron Davis. We have now begun in the fifth round. We were away longer than normal there, but you can see the swelling, Alex. That is a horrible swelling under the eye.
And the worst thing about it was, Dan, that the people in the corner of Aaron Davis had no time to put the end swell on that because they're working on a cut above the eye.
That is the type of swelling that will close the eye and close the eye quickly. Good combination by Mark Breland. And now we have to see how Aaron Davis reacts and adjusts to that type of an injury.
And lost in all this is the fact that on my scorecard, Dan, I've got Aaron winning all four of the first 4 rounds. Hard to believe this fight could go the distance.
Now, if you are going to have an eye swell against Mark Breland, better the right eye so you can keep your left open and see that big right hand coming.
That's right, especially since Mark's jab has not been that effective. But I mean, it's been effective enough to bust the eye out. So.
But I know what you're saying.
I mean, we should say one other thing. Joey Fariello and Shelley Finkel, Mark Breland's management, always insist on Reyes gloves because they feel that it enables Mark, they're considered puncher's gloves, and they also enable Mark to bust up the opponent. He certainly has busted up Aaron Davis, but also Aaron Davis's Reyes 8 ounces haven't done a bad job on Mark.
And still, Alex, Mark Breland's legs just don't look good. He's not moving well. He's stumbling over his own feet.
And he still seems available for that left hand. Must keep his right hand up and must not pull his head straight back from punches.
We're in the fifth round. This bout is scheduled for 12 here from Perez and Reno. A minute 15 left in the fifth, Alex.
Mark Breland pawing again at his nose. It has started to bleed again. He actually looked pretty good. They did a good job of getting him together cosmetically in a corner, but he's bleeding again from both the nose and the mouth.
Now Aaron Davis is swelling on his eye, at least during the course of this round, does not appear to have gotten worse. He can still see out of the eye. Yeah, but Dan, if I were Aaron Davis, I would be letting it all hang out because the doctor can stop this fight at any time. Aaron has to just go for broke. He's hurt Mark practically every round. You have to seriously doubt that there's any way that that eye is going to permit him to make 12 rounds. Yeah, and I just don't think he can protect it. Oh, and there's a stiff jab from Breland right on the eye. You can see the blood now coming out of the mouth of Mark Breland. I said the doctor would stop the fight, Dan. Under WBA rules, only the referee can stop it, but under the advice of the doctor, and as you saw, Mills has consulted the doctor a couple of times. I mean, Mills Lane is the type of referee, if the doctor tells him to stop the fight, it's over. There aren't too many referees who do overrule the doctor. These two fighters are exacting quite a toll. They deserve a break, and they're about to get it here. This is the end of the fifth.